hitting. It's riveting. It's the much talked about cover story during Nationwide at 5. Here Cliff Hughes get to the heart of the story of the day. Cover story aired 5:30 weekdays during Nationwide at 5. Nationwide at 5. Talk radio at its best. Cover story.
Cover Story is brought to you by JTA Credit Union, serving our members, impacting lives positively.
Multilink, roll with control. Use Multilink, safe, fast, and accepted in more locations.
Do you have a consumer-related issue? Want to learn more about matters concerning you as a consumer? Well, keep it locked to Nationwide 90 FM for the Consumer Hour with me, Nora Gay Banton. Weekdays from 9 to 10 a.m. For all your consumer-centric matters, stay tuned to the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Ready to tackle that building project? Start right. Start here at H&L Rapid True Value for building supplies. The time by H&L Rapid True Value is
Nationwide time, 5 o'clock.
Interex Distributors presents the ultimate tile clearance sale. Transform your space for less. Dunrobin Plaza, 30 Dunrobin Avenue. The temperature by Interex Distributors is
26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 29 out west in Montego Bay.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Robeanne Williams.
And I'm Mahiri Stewart.
In Nationwide News at this hour, charges could soon be laid on one of the Jamaica College students seen in a viral video physically assaulting a schoolmate.
Residents of Steerfield St. Anne confront the police following operation that left 2 men dead.
Jamaica's financial system remained resilient at the end of 2025 despite Hurricane Melissa setback.
Dr. Andrew Holness calls on Caribbean universities to use their expertise to assist in spurring regional economic growth.
Our universities must take an instrumental position in supporting governments to grow.
Relative of burn victims call for a fully specialized standalone burn unit to be established in Jamaica.
In news from the rest of the world, 6 detained, 22 guns recovered in Trinidad and Tobago police station attack.
FBI director files $250 million lawsuit against the Atlantic.
In sports, a Jamaican cricket icon is now co-owner of an international T20 cricket franchise.
And later in our broadcast, in our cover story at 5:35, Nationwide News understands charges could soon be laid against a JC schoolboy seen in a video assaulting his schoolmate in the presence of 6 other boys. Permanent Secretary in the Education Ministry, Senator Marlon Morgan, will join us.
In the nation's business at 6:25, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is calling on Caribbean universities to use their expertise to assist in spurring regional economic growth.
We need the University of the West Indies to be a critical partner in our development.
You'll hear more.
Taking you around the world at 6:45, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar says there's no need for a curfew following the killing of a policewoman and the theft of several guns from a police facility on Sunday. Senior multimedia journalist at One Caribbean Media in Trinidad, Alex Bruzuel, will join us. And at 7, it's the comments section with Shaloy Smichael and Mahiri Stewart. This evening, they're asking, what's your reaction to the assault on a JC schoolboy by his schoolmates? Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio. And message us on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your comments on Instagram at Nationwide 90 FM. All these and more as we take you home on air on your mobile, Nationwide 90 FM, RevoNews.ai, and on the Revo News app. It's available on Google Play and the App Store. This Monday afternoon, it's Monday, April 20, 2026.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Charges could soon be laid on one of the boys seen in a viral video physically assaulting his schoolmate at Jamaica College in St. Andrew. That's according to commanding officer for the St. Andrew Police Division, that's St. Andrew Central Division, acting SSP Mark Harris. In an update with our news center on Monday, acting SSP Harris says the victim has been interviewed by the police, but he says none of the aggressors have been taken into custody. Meanwhile, the administration of Jamaica College says it's launched an investigation into the incident. In a media release on Monday, principal of Jamaica College, Wayne Robinson, says the video was brought to his attention on Saturday, April 18. Robinson says the school began probing the case immediately. He notes that the matter is being treated as urgent and serious. On Monday, a team from the Ministry of Education visited the school to meet with the administration and students. The ministry says it's working with the leadership of Jamaica College to identify all parties involved to ensure appropriate disciplinary and corrective measures are implemented.
Tensions were high in Steerfield, St. Anne on Monday after residents confronted a police team following an operation that left 2 men dead. A snippet of the confrontation has been making the rounds on social media. Shalois Michael reports.
The incident reportedly occurred about 5:50 a.m. during an operation at a house in Steerfield. The police say a team of about 17 members from the Area 5 Fugitive Apprehension Team was conducting a targeted operation search of a suspect believed to be in possession of prohibited weapons and unauthorized ammunition. Reports are that when the police entered the premises, they encountered 2 armed men who opened fire at them. The police say in fear for their lives, they returned fire. The alleged gunmen fell to the ground. A shotgun and a pistol were reportedly seized. The police say their efforts to get the injured men into their vehicle to take them to hospital were thwarted by angry residents who blocked the road. The police say the 2 alleged gunmen were eventually taken to the St. Anne's Bay Hospital. The men, identified as Ramon Henry and Davian Henry, later died. A snippet of the confrontation has been circulating online. The 1-minute and 30-second video shows 2 police cars parked at what appears to be the bottom of a hill. It shows at least 8 residents shouting at 3 policemen. It's not clear what they were saying. One of the policemen pulled what appears to be a firearm from his waist and loudly told the group to back off. Another police started shouting, "Get back!" The residents began retreating while still shouting at the trio. The person recording the video from a distance mentioned the fatal shooting incident. He then panned the recording device to a house where he says the incident occurred. It also shows another police vehicle parked below the house. The incident is being probed by the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM. Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for South East St. Anne, Dr. Kenneth Russell, is urging INDECOM to ensure a thorough and impartial probe into the fatal police shooting in Steerfield. In a release on Monday, Dr. Russell says the concerns being raised by the residents are deeply troubling. He says they've strongly disputed claims of a shootout. According to Dr. Russell, the residents account that there was no immediate threat posed to the police, if substantiated, would point to serious concerns regarding the use of force. While also urging residents to remain calm, Dr. Russell reaffirmed his support to the community's call for answers and justice.
Jamaica's financial system remained resilient at the end of 2025 despite a late-year setback caused by Hurricane Melissa. That's according to the Bank of Jamaica's annual report for the period. However, the central bank warned the country's financial system remains vulnerable to external shocks as experienced in recent months, such as geopolitical instability and weather-related phenomena. Siobhan Campbell tells us more.
According to the Bank of Jamaica's annual report for 2025, its composite indicator of microfinancial conditions improved during the first 3 quarters of 2025. This was driven by strong credit growth, low inflation volatility, declining public debt, and improved performance in the domestic equity market. However, conditions weakened in the December quarter due to the impact of Hurricane Melissa. Still, the BOJ noted that the index stayed well below levels associated with financial crises. Stress tests results highlighted the system's underlying strength. Deposit-taking institutions, DTIs, and securities dealers maintained a capital adequacy ratio above the regulatory minimum of 10%, even under simulated shocks. The BOJ says liquidity assessments showed that both sectors could withstand a hypothetical 20% withdrawal of deposits. But withdrawals would need to reach roughly 51% before the DTIs risked reaching inadequate levels of capital. The financial system also demonstrated resilience to market risks, including sharp movements in exchange rates and interest rates. Under combined stress scenarios, capital levels across institutions remained above minimum thresholds. The BOJ's annual report also revealed that credit risks, while slightly elevated, remained contained. The ratio of non-performing loans increased to 2.8% at the end of 2025, up from 2.5% a year earlier, but stayed well below the 10% benchmark. Stress scenarios simulating increases in bad loans of up to 50% still showed institutions maintaining adequate capital. The central bank cautioned, however, that the financial system remains exposed to external risks, particularly geopolitical development and weather-related shocks. Looking ahead, the bank projects that the sector will remain sound in 2026, supported by strong capital positions, adequate liquidity, and continued regulatory oversight. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is calling on Caribbean universities to use their expertise to assist in spurring regional economic growth. The Prime Minister made the call while addressing the American Foundation for the University of the West Indies at its 29th annual gala in Manhattan, New York on Friday. He was giving his acceptance speech after receiving their Legacy Award. Mahir Stewart has that story.
Dr. Andrew Holness told the room of diaspora leaders and academics in New York that there's an urgent need in the Caribbean for educated minds capable of steering the region in the right direction. The Prime Minister believes those minds in areas such as risk management, bureaucracy elimination, and economic growth can be found on the campuses of regional tertiary institutions.
Our universities must take an instrumental position in supporting governments to grow. And that will come from taking more deliberate positions in developing new technologies, in taking positions on how we manage risks. We need a new culture on efficiency, particularly efficient bureaucracy. Now our university must play a critical role in securing our economic independence and our economic thought and guide us as a people to navigate these very different and difficult times.
Pointing to the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa, Dr. Holness charged that the UWI must play its part in the restoration and redevelopment process.
We were struck by the third most powerful hurricane in recorded history. It left a trail of devastation across the island. It was a disaster. But it also created an opportunity to build forward better. In order to do this, we need the University of the West Indies to be a critical partner in our development.
Dr. Holness also addressed the current geopolitical concerns. He told the gathering that the Caribbean region must recognize this constantly changing climate and adapt accordingly.
The Chancellor said it best. We are in changing times. A time where disruption is the norm. We are seeing a change in the world order as we knew it to be. An order that is less forgiving, an order that expects all of us to stand on our own 2 feet and truly exercise our independence. It will require a change in our mindset, a change in how we as Caribbean people see the world and our place in the world.
Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
5 men charged in connection with a $12 billion cocaine seizure in Havendale, St. Andrew in 2024 are set to stand trial on March 8, 2027 in the Home Circuit Court. The trial date was confirmed during a trial readiness hearing before Justice Sonia Bertram Linton on Monday. The accused are Junior Haldane, Clive Davis, Colin Ricketts, Aubrey Sterling, and Clayton Peart. Haldane and Sterling had their bail extended while the remaining accused were remanded. In the interim, a bail renewal application for Davis and Ricketts is scheduled for June 4. All 5 men face charges of possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, trafficking cocaine, and conspiracy. They were arrested on August 6, 2024, following a police operation at a premises in Havendale carried out by the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division with support from the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch. The security forces reportedly seized several knitted bags containing cocaine. Police say the substance weighed more than 2,600 kilograms. Police say the raid was intelligence-driven and that the men were allegedly preparing to load the cocaine onto a bus at the time. You are listening to Nationwide News at 5. More news after these.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
5:15.
Every professional reaches a moment when growth calls. A promotion, a new opportunity, a bigger vision. At Mona School of Business and Management, our globally competitive graduate programs, including the internationally accredited MBA, are designed for ambitious professionals who are ready to lead. With flexible delivery options that fit your lifestyle, advancing your career is within reach. Learn from world-class faculty. Connect with influential leaders. Transform your future. Visit discover.msbm-uwi.org and apply online for a graduate degree. MSBM, Global Knowledge, Regional Solutions.
Continuing the news, the aunt of 2 St. Catharines siblings who died from injuries sustained in a fire is calling for the establishment of a fully specialized standalone burn unit in Jamaica. 14-year-old Gabriella Wright died during the fire on April 10. Her brother, 21-year-old Courtney Daly, died in hospital on Friday, April 17. Their aunt Raquel says the resources in the hospital to deal with burn victims are not enough.
We need a burn unit. I'm really stressing it. Please, Prime Minister Andrew Bolles, you have to do something about this burn unit because Jamaica is a place that is a very dry place, and people can even light rubbish and place catch a fire. So we really have to implement a burn unit in Jamaica because it will happen again and it can happen again. So we can't be too careful and we cannot depend on the hospital because they don't have everything there to help a burn unit.
Each year, more than 1,000 burn victims are treated at Jamaica's public medical facilities, including Cornwall Regional Hospital, Kingston Public Hospital, and the University Hospital of the West Indies. This is according to Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton. He stated in February that these hospitals are staffed with skilled clinicians, plastic surgeons, and multidisciplinary teams who provide comprehensive care for the initial stabilization to reconstructive surgery. Minister Tufton noted that while severe burns require highly specialized care, local hospitals have proven their ability to successfully manage many complex cases. In the meantime, the family is seeking the assistance of the public, with 15 people left homeless after the fire.
Raquel Dancer for Price. You can just type in Raquel Dancer for Price and then you can send me a message or try to reach out to us because we really needed your help. We didn't get to save him, but we're still in need because there's a family of 15. We have a family of 15, no home. Children need to go back to school. Children are doing PEP. So we are really a family that's really lost everything.
Raquel, the aunt of 2 fire victims.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
The World in a Minute.
6 people are now in custody in Trinidad and Tobago following the murder of a policewoman and the theft of dozens of firearms from a police facility on Sunday. The body of Acting Corporal Anushka Eversley was discovered at the San Fernando City Corporation Municipal Police Station. 62 firearms and some 4,000 rounds of ammunition were stolen from the armory. Those detained include 2 municipal police officers and 4 civilians. They were held following a series of overnight intelligence-led operations coordinated by multiple units. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service says it has also recovered 22 guns from the stolen arsenal. These include 10 M&P pistols, 10 Glock 19 pistols, a Browning pistol, a Smith & Wesson pistol, and over 600 rounds of ammunition.
FBI Director Kash Patel has filed a $250 million defamation lawsuit against The Atlantic. He's accused the magazine of publishing false and damaging claims about his conduct in office. Patel alleges that the magazine published harmful claims, including accusations of excessive drinking and unexplained absences from duty. The article, citing sources, also alleged that Patel's conduct created a risk to public safety and national security. But The Atlantic has defended its reporting. The magazine said the article was based on interviews with dozens of individuals, including the White House. The Atlantic says it will stand by its reporting and journalists involved.
World in a Minute was brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose Assembly and Supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology and integrity.
Recapping the top stories making nationwide news at this hour, charges could soon be laid on one of the Jamaica College students seen in a viral video physically assaulting a schoolmate.
Residents of Steerfield St. Anne confront the police following operation that left 2 men dead.
Jamaica's financial system remained resilient at the end of 2025 despite Hurricane Melissa setback.
Dr. Andrew Holness calls on Caribbean universities to use their expertise to assist in spurring regional economic growth.
I'm Roby Ann Williams.
And I'm Mahiri Stewart.
You can find the news on our website at revonews.ai and on the Revo News app. It's available on Google Play and the App Store. News next, the headlines at 6.
Tune in to Cliff Views Online Wednesday, April 22 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce's 2nd Annual Anti-Illicit Trade Forum at the AC Marriott in Kingston under the theme Unmasking the Cost, the Financial Impact of Illicit Trade. The forum brings together key stakeholders to examine the economic losses, consumer risk, and threats to legitimate businesses caused by illicit goods. Stay tuned to the live coverage and find out how this growing issue is impacting Jamaica's economy and you. So tune in to Cliff Views Online Wednesday, April 22 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the 2nd Annual Anti-Illicit Trade Forum at the AC Marriott in Kingston. Catch this on our live stream at Nationwide 90 FM Live and keep your station locked to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business.
Every day, Jamaicans have something to say. In the group chats, on social media, in the streets, there's a place where it all comes together. The comment section. This is not a lecture. This is not a call-in show. This is the hottest topics of the day, filtered through real opinions, real WhatsApp messages, real voice notes, real reactions. You agree, disagree, sound off, text it, voice note it, debate it. Comments section, Monday to Friday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
Sports at 5 is brought to you by Total Tools. Total Tools, every tool, every trade.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. We start with the news on cricket. The Barbados Pride, they were replying strongly to the Jamaica Scorpions 457 all-out at close on day number 2 of their regional 4-day West Indies Championship encounter being played at Sabina Park when rain ended play prematurely just over 2 hours ago. The Pride were 125 for 1. They are still 322 runs behind. Shane Mosley, the man out for 53. He was bowled by the veteran Pete Summon, and the captain Craig Brathwaite is not out on 51. Jonathan Lane is the other not out batsman. He's on 17. Early, the Scorpions added 99 to their overnight score to be all out for 457. Javel Glenn, he went on to make 60. The third top scorer for the Jamaica Scorpions. Shamar Springer was a pick of the bowlers for Barbados Pride. He ended with 3 for 99. Ruston Chase, Johan Lane, and the West Indies player Jomel Warrican bagged the 2 wickets apiece. Over at the Antigua Recreation Ground in St. John's, Guyana Harpy Eagles, they closed the second day on 361 for 8. And this, of course, is in response to the Windward Islands' 151 all-out. Kemal Savory, he made 72. Kimo Paul, 56. And Matthew Nandu, he made 54. While over at North Sound, also in Antigua, the Leeward Islands Hurricanes, they were 136 for 6. Batting a second time, it means they have an overall lead of 92 against the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. The Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, they were earlier dismissed for 175, and that was in response to 131 all-out made by the Hurricanes. Jamaican West Indies cricket legend Chris Gayle is now a co-owner of a franchise in the inaugural European T20 Premier League. The 46-year-old Gayle has bought into the Glasgow Moorfields franchise, and it's based in Glasgow in Scotland. The self-styled Universe boss has partnered with Moorfield Group, an Indian-based entertainment business and investment group led by former Indian captain Rahul Dravid, and Ravichandran Ashwin had been originally expected to take ownership of the Glasgow franchise. However, reports are that they're set to pivot their interest to the team based outside of Dublin in Ireland instead. Gayle says the role of co-owner marks an exciting new chapter in his life. He says the new European T20 Championship is now cricket's final frontier and has the potential to unravel promising local talent and nurture future heroes who will strengthen the sport in that region. National Senior Women's Football Team coach Hubert Busby says he's hoping the players can improve or at the very least maintain their form when they head back to their respective clubs as they get ready for a crucial month of November when they contest the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. Jamaica advanced to the CONCACAF Final Championship round by topping Group B in the Caribbean round. They beat Guyana by 2-0 at the National Stadium on Saturday to emerge group winners. The Reggae Girls are now in the quarterfinals of the championship, which will be played in the next FIFA window for women's football. That's between November 25 and December 2. Now, based on the current CONCACAF ranking, the Jamaicans are scheduled to face Costa Rica in that quarterfinal. Now, the winner of that quarterfinal between Jamaica and, if it happens to be Costa Rica, will go directly to the World Cup in Brazil next year. Now, the final opponent, the quarterfinal opponent for Jamaica, will only be confirmed when CONCACAF announces whether they'll be using the April CONCACAF ranking to seed the teams, or use the June CONCACAF ranking. That's the next ranking that will be coming out. Because if they go with the June CONCACAF ranking, then possibly the opponent might change. It could remain Costa Rica, but if they use the April CONCACAF ranking, it's going to be Costa Rica. If it's a June ranking, it may change. Of course, Jamaica is looking to qualify for a third World Cup final on the spin. And I tell you, the Jamaicans can also qualify at the same time for the Los Angeles Olympic Games in 2028 if they beat Costa Rica or whomever the opponent is. Because if the U.S. win their game, they're through to the Olympic as well because they're the host. But Jamaica, if they win, they're also in as well. Wolverhampton Wanderers, they've been relegated from the English Premier League after 8 seasons in the English top flight. Their demotion was confirmed after West Ham United and Crystal Palace played out a goalless draw in their London derby at Selhurst Park a couple of hours ago. A Crystal Palace win would have given Wolves a stay of execution for at least another week. Another English Premier League team, Burnley, could be relegated on Wednesday, if they fail to beat title-chasing Manchester City at their home ground, that Burnley home ground. In the meantime, Leicester City with Reggae Boys, Bobby, Dika Dover-Reed and Dujuan Richards, they could be relegated to League One from the Championship on Tuesday. That's in another 24 hours. Leicester will be playing the promotion challenging Hull City at home on Tuesday, and they must win to give themselves a chance of staying up. And even so, results elsewhere could still see them being demoted on Tuesday. Champions Cavalier, they were leading Spanish Town Police by 1-0 at sports time. They're on the 57th minute of that game over at the Stadium East, and they're playing in the Jamaica Jamaica Premier League game. Chad James has so far scored the only goal of the game. It came on minute 23. A win for Cavalier will solidify their hold on that crucial 6th and final playoff spot. They'll then be moving up to 52 points if they manage to hold on to the scoreline that they currently hold. Sprint legend Usain Bolt has expressed strong optimism in Manchester United's resurgence, stating that the club is on course to return to its glory days under manager, that's the interim manager, Michael Carrick. United are third on the English Premier League standings following a hard-fought 1-0 win over Chelsea on Saturday, continuing an impressive run of form since Carrick took charge. Bolt, a lifelong Manchester United supporter, praised the current squad's unity and cohesion, emphasizing that the team's chemistry has been a key factor in the recent run.
It's back. I must say the joy is back. I think Carrick has really changed the way the players are. I think they believe in him, and they want to play hard for him, and they want to do well. So I'm happy to see what's going on right now. You can see the belief now. Anytime you can see when players believe in a coach, they always play harder for that coach. You know what I mean? And you can see the players are really playing hard, and really you can see the change. So I feel like it will be better. I don't see any coach out there now who's going to come and do better. Cause all he's going to do is to change a new system, and then it's going to be, are they going to like the coach? Are they going to mesh together? So I feel like the fact that Carrick is working right now, I think they should stick with him.
Under Michael Carrick's leadership, Manchester United, they've backed 26 points from 8 wins and 2 drawn games. They've lost twice as well, 1 at home and 1 away. Usain was in Europe this weekend attending the Laureus Awards, stopped over in Britain to watch his beloved team. They were playing in London against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And that will do for sport. We're going to be back, though, at 6:05 with much more in our major sportscast. Alex Swiby will be your presenter.
Sports at 5 was brought to you by Total Tools. Total Tools, every tool, every trade.
For all your custom framing, printing, graphic design, and purchase of art, Make It Frame Art Jamaica Limited, serving you for over 40 years. The time by Frame Art Jamaica is
5:32.
Upgrade your drive with Hyundai and Scotiabank. 4.99% interest, 0 fees, and 1-year insurance free. Choose from the Hyundai Venue, Palisade, Tucson, or Creta. Visit Kingston or Montego Bay showrooms. The temperature by Hyundai is
27 degrees Celsius here in the nation's capital, Kingston. It's 29 in the western city, Montego Bay.
Wake up, Jamaica.
It's another glorious day on Nationwide this morning. From your 6 a.m. alarm to the news at 6. Coming up in the news at 6 to me telling you what's on my mind.
To more news at 7 a.m. Coming up in the news at 7. And then the biggest issues dissected, interrogated and discussed on the front page. Nationwide this morning fires you up and sets you right for the remainder of the day.
And there's much more until 9 a.m. Want to know which roads to avoid on your morning commute?
Time now for Street Smarts 2 with Little But Clean.
Listen to Street Smart.
Want to hear more about things happening at the community level outside the bustling corporate area? Listen to Across Jamaica.
George, it's someone's birthday.
Happy birthday, yeah, my friend.
And that someone will hear a special greeting every morning via the Birthday Club.
Nationwide this morning on the revolution in media.
It's coffee, tea, and everything else.
For those who want an energetic, rip-roaring start to their day.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
Jamaican high school and college athletes will take on the best of the USA at the Penn Relays April 23, 24, and 25. A live coverage is on Nationwide Radio, brought to you by the Sports Development Foundation, developing a nation through sports. The Universal Service Fund, connecting you to more. That's live coverage of the Penn Relays on this station April 23, 24, and 25. Don't miss it.
How certain are you that you're taking proper care of your pets? How often do you take them to the vet? Just as we need annual checkups with our doctors, most pets need regular checkups too. Owning and caring for a family pet doesn't have to be a difficult or burdensome experience. Nationwide 90 FM has an exciting feature called Pets World that will help you take better care of your pets. Join Nationwide 90 FM every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning as we take you into the do's and don'ts of caring for your pets. That's Pets World every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Cover Story is brought to you by
Multilink. Roll with control. Use Multilink. Safe, fast, and accepted in more locations.
Multi-link, access every time, everywhere I go. Multi-link, 24/7 access for me. It's just a win-win when we use Multi-link. This card is Jamaican built, yeah. Fast and secure, you can use anywhere, spend while supporting the economy. Look for the Multi-link logo on your card and benefit from Jamaica's largest debit payment network. Multi-link, 24/7 access for me.
What would I do without my Multi-link?
Good afternoon. Thank you so very much for sticking and staying with us right here inside Nationwide at 5. It's Must Listen Radio. If you're listening on the 90 FM band, welcome to today's edition of the program. It's a Monday and we are happy to be with you. We know you have choices, so thanks for making it Nationwide at 5. Of course, I'm your host, Tara Reid. We are inside the cover story, and before we get to what we have prepared for you listeners and viewers, and also top of the afternoon to those who are over there on our YouTube channel as well, and a special good afternoon to those who are part of the Nationwide Family Club. Now, the East Kingston Police is seeking the assistance of the public in locating Moya Shaw of a Kingston address, who the police believe can assist in an ongoing investigation. And if you are on our YouTube channel, of course, you will see a photo of Moya Shaw being displayed there. So the East Kingston Police is seeking the assistance of the public in locating Moya Shaw. She's of a Kingston address, who the police believe can assist them in an ongoing investigation. She's asked to report to the Elliston Road Police Station right away, immediately. Any information on her whereabouts can be communicated to the Elliston Road Criminal Investigation, that CIB office, at 876-928-4200. That's 876-928-4200, or 119 Police Emergency Control Center number. All right, so you can either call 876-928-4200 or the 119 Police Emergency number. All right, let's dive into what we have planned for you on today's edition of the program. Now, the charges could soon be laid on one of the boys seen in a viral video, which many of you might have already seen. And of course, the boy was seen being physically assaulted by his schoolmates at Jamaica College in St. Andrew. That's according to commanding officer for the St. Andrew Central Police Division, that's acting SSP Mark Harris. In an update with our news center on Monday, acting SSP Harris says the victim has been interviewed by the police, but he says none of the aggressors have been taken into custody. In the meantime, the administration of Jamaica College says it's launched an investigation into the incident. In a media release today, principal of Jamaica College, that's Wayne Robinson, says the video was brought to his attention on Saturday, April 18. Robinson says the school began probing the case immediately. He notes that the matter is being treated as urgent and serious. On Monday, a team from the Ministry of Education visited the school to meet with the administration and students. The ministry says it's working with the leadership of Jamaica College to identify all parties involved to ensure appropriate disciplinary and corrective measures are implemented. It's a difficult watch, so we warn those who may have been the victims of bullying, may have been to just be mindful of this. It's really difficult to watch, but we'll play the video for you now.
Boy, when man I get the money? When man I get the money? How you say that? You also in the man when man I get the money, I say that. And some of the man, when man I get the money, answer the question, man, when man I get the money, I say that. But you never take care of him. Boy, when man I say a question, those moments, when man I get the money, you don't say a question.
Very, very difficult scenes there to watch, very difficult scenes to watch. Now, we want to let you know, listeners, that we did try for the principal of Jamaica College, that's Wayne Robinson, and no response from Wayne Robinson. The chairman, Lance Hilton, says a statement is being finalized and that the school condemns the incident. The boys involved in the incident are before the school's disciplinary committee. The police say they won't speak on the matter until the boy or boys are charged. And of course, the JCPTA says it won't comment, allowing the school and the police to investigate. Now, we are being joined in today's conversation, though, by the ministry. Let me get to it here. The Ministry the parliamentary secretary, pardon me, the education ministry, that's Senator Marlon Morgan, and the director of regional education services ministry of education, youth, skills and information, that's Otis Brown. Gentlemen, top of the afternoon to you. Welcome to Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, Tyrone. Let me say good afternoon to Mr. Brown and indeed your NNN listeners.
Indeed. It's Otis Brown, or is it Otis Brown? Mr. Brown, it appears we're having a little difficulty with Mr. Brown's line. Let's get cracking with you, Senator Morgan. I'll allow you to react to what you saw in that video. I saw it. It angered me, and it's also heartbreaking to watch as well. What was your immediate reaction to what you saw in that video?
I, too, like many Jamaicans, found it most disturbing. What stood out to me was the fact that the young man who was being beaten upon did not seek to, ward off the blows or defend himself. In fact, one of the comments from police personnel with whom we interfaced today, she made mention that she could not finish watching the video. So that is just the nature of what Jamaica would have seen coming out. You can imagine that parents would be distressed. You can imagine that, persons who are having sight of that would be equally upset at what we saw. And it underscores the fact that as a society, we have our work cut out for us in relation to fostering behavior and mainstreaming behavior that sees people treating appropriately one toward the other and not having violence or bullies manifest itself in the way it tends to do from time to time in our society. We want to normalize and mainstream peace, which is not the absence of conflict, but really, Tyrone and listeners, the finding of appropriate ways and utilization of appropriate channels to resolve conflict and disputes.
We are talking with the Parliament Secretary in the Education Ministry, Senator Marlon Morgan. We're being joined by the Director of Regional Education Services in the Education Ministry, Youth, Skills and Information, Otis Brown, or Otis Brown. Is it Otis or Otis Brown, Mr. Brown? Otis Brown. Mr. Brown, you with us? All right, still not hearing there from Otis Brown. So when we're up on a break. Let's take the break and we'll get more reactions to that really troubling video coming out of JC. Soon come.
Visit Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore, for all your prescription needs, gifts, personal care, household and stationery items. The temperature by Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore is
27 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston and 29 out west in the tourism mecca of Montego Bay.
Multi-link, access every time, everywhere I go. Multi-link, 24/7 access for me. It's just a win-win when we use multi-link. This card is Jamaican built, yeah. Fast and secure, you can use anywhere. Spend while supporting the economy.
Look for the Multilink logo on your card and benefit from Jamaica's largest debit payment network.
Multi-link, 24/7 access for me.
What would I do without my Multilink?
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you so very much for staying with us. If you're on our YouTube channel, again, we offered a trigger warning because the video is hard to watch, but we have to look at these things. This is the nature of the beast that we have to deal with in our schools, and a situation of a boy being bullied. He's being physically assaulted by his peers at Jamaica College. And Jamaica College, again, in the news as a result of these allegations of bullying at the school. There was an incident recently. The school came out, denied it. Of course, the PTA president at the school also denied the reports coming out saying that, look, this is not this is not the case. Yeah, but this video made the rounds at the weekend, and it has really caused much debate, yeah, and understandably so. Very difficult to watch. A boy is seen grabbing, what we would say in Jamaica, draping another. If you are not on YouTube, just for our listeners on radio, a boy is seen grabbing another by the front of his shirt, demanding to know when some monies would be paid. The main aggressor is the taller and physically bigger than the victim. That main aggressor is supported by another boy who has what appears to be a belt in his hand, but those boys and 3 others encircle the victim. The main aggressor slaps the victim in the face 7 times with his right hand. He also slaps him once with the left hand and once in the chest. The aggressor with the belt uses it to deliver 2 blows to the victim. At one point in the distressing video, the victim, who was using his hands to shield his face from the strikes, is told to drop his hands to his side, and I gather he complies. Very difficult to watch. You can just imagine parents having to watch their child being abused like this. It's heartrending, and it is really infuriating to watch this kind of a thing. We have the Parliamentary Secretary in the Education Ministry, Marlon Morgan, who's going to tell us what his administration is prepared to do to stamp out bullying out of schools. We also have Director of Regional Education Services in the Ministry of Education, Otis Brown, with us. And we're going to go to Otis Brown. Otis Brown, thanks so much for joining us. Top of the afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Tyrone. Thank you very much for having me. Good afternoon to Senator Morgan as well, and all his staff.
Indeed. Otis Brown, how pervasive is what we're looking at here? You are the Director of Regional Education Services. How pervasive is bullying and these incidents?
Well, as it concerns bullying, the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information usually require of schools that they submit incident reports, and these reports are submitted on a monthly basis. We find that a number of our schools, but particularly our high schools, tended to report some incidents of bullying taking place among students. Bullying, of course, does not necessarily have to include violent behaviors, but we do see elements of bullying coming out of a number of reports that we get or conversations that we have with school leaders, principals, vice principals, deans of discipline, even teachers.
Do we tabulate these incidents, the reports that are being made, particularly by the high schools? What are the total numbers we're looking at? For example, let's say for last year into this year. Do we have those numbers?
I am not in a position now to give you a specific number, but I can tell you that about 50% of our schools that do submit reports from time to time do make reports about bullying of some kind among students.
And that's 50% of our high schools.
Well, primary schools do submit reports as well, but most of the cases, including bullying on the ground, do take place at the high school level.
All right, I'm trying to understand the numbers, though. So when you say 50% of schools report bullying, you're saying 50% of all schools in Jamaica?
So, no, I'm speaking for Region 1 that I am in charge of,
right.
Kingston and St. Andrew. So there are 163 schools that fall under our remit in Kingston and St. Andrew. And the schools, when they do submit their monthly reports, so say, for example, you have 40 schools making their submissions at a particular time, you may find between 15 and 20 of those institutions reporting some incident that could be classified.
I'm sorry, that means I'm sorry, Mr. Brown. Repeat that for me. You told us you have about 100 plus schools in your region, which covers the parishes Kingston and St. Andrew, and you're saying how many of those schools report bullying?
So, say for example, in a particular month, you have about 40 schools submitting reports, because there are some months when there are no major incidents to be reported by schools. You usually find about 15 to 20 of those reports, including matters pertaining or that can be classified as bullying, although some of these matters reported usually are not so classified.
So why would the schools be advising of the incidents but not reporting them as bullying? Why is that?
Well, I suppose some people do not classify some actions by children as bullying. But once you get into the business of using force, where someone is concerned in particular, bullying comes into play.
And do we advise the schools that they need to so classify these incidents as bullying?
Most certainly. The region has a safety and security coordinator who normally speaks with the deans of discipline, in particular, to tell them how to train them, advise them how to address these reports.
And this incident that has really occupied the public's attention since the weekend, was this incident reported to you?
All right, so the Jamaica College learned of the incident on the weekend, and we too from the ministry, the safety and security coordinator in the region, also learned of the incident on the weekend. So schools are normally asked to report an incident within the first 4 hours once it is practical and they are able to do so, because we deem these as matters of emergency. And so the safety and security coordinator of the region was well aware of this incident and has been in touch with the Dean of Discipline of the institution about the matter.
So JC advised you at the weekend?
On the weekend. So the Safety and Security Coordinator and the Dean had that conversation.
So once JC became aware of the video, they advised you at the weekend about this incident?
Yes, we knew about it from the weekend.
No, I hear you that you knew, and I'm trying to find out if JC has formally reported it to you as yet.
No, so what I'm saying is that the Dean of Discipline of the institution was in dialogue with the region's Safety and Security Coordinator. That Safety and Security Coordinator would be the ministry's representative who normally interacts with the Dean of Discipline.
Understood. So, and based on your understanding, Mr. Brown, JC just got wind of this incident. It's not that the video now being made public, which is why they are now admitting to it. They are just coming into this information.
Tyrone, if I can intervene here.
All right, please go ahead.
Provide some context and texture. What the principal conveyed to us, because as you may be apprised, I led a team from the ministry to Jamaica College this morning. We had dialogue with the principal. What was conveyed to us is that they became aware of this development on Saturday, at which point they set about identifying the students involved and would have gone further to make contact with the parents. So much so that this morning when we went there were parents there in addition to the boys, some of the boys in question, even while they're seeking to identify some of the others who were in this space, which I gather is a bathroom.
Well, my producer just handed me a statement from JC under the signature of Lance Hilton, chairman of the school, and it reads, on Saturday, April 18, 2026, at approximately 8 p.m., the Jamaica College management became aware of a video depicting a deeply disturbing incident involving a number of our students. The school regards the behavior depicted as reprehensible and wholly unacceptable, and we condemn it in the strongest possible terms. Investigations began immediately in line with our established protocols, and by Sunday midday, we had identified the boys, pictured, and secured an initial, though unverified, impression of what had transpired. The school statement continues. The primary persons involved were interviewed today, Monday, April 20, 2026, in the presence of their parents, and signed statements secured based on these interviews and signed statements. The facts as currently understood are as follows. The student seen in the video being physically assaulted admitted in writing and before his mother that about 2 weeks ago he took certain items that did not belong to him from a group of boys with whom he was socializing. These included a jacket, a pair of glasses, and a sum of money. When initially questioned about the missing items, he denied any involvement before later acknowledging his actions and committing to return the items in question. In the days that followed, he returned a portion of the money and some of the items, but failed to make full restitution and missed several agreed deadlines to do so. The aggrieved student subsequently confronted him on school grounds and compelled him into a bathroom to demand the outstanding balance. The physical altercation captured in the video occurred at that point. It wasn't a physical altercation, JC. No, the boy being beaten was not fighting back. So I'm not so certain that I would call this an altercation. Now, it goes on to say, all students involved will now appear before Jamaica College's disciplinary committee for appropriate action in accordance with the school's established procedures. Jamaica College remains fully and unequivocally committed to the safety and well-being of every student in our care, to fair and thorough investigation of all incidents, and to the upholding of due process, accountability, and justice. We're out of time, but let me get you both gentlemen to react to that, beginning with you, Senator. This sounds like JC might be blaming the victim here.
Well, what I glean from this particular statement, Tyrone, is that JC is apprising the public of the facts as they have been able to establish it today, and they have signaled quite appropriately that consequent on what they have been able to determine, they will proceed with the appropriate disciplinary procedures. And
you consider this to be an altercation, Minister?
Well, put it this way, you know I'm a wordsmith, so those are not words that I would have used. And like you, therefore, I find that that word was not the most appropriate of descriptors, because as you said, and I have observed early in this conversation myself, that the young man in question was not waging much of a challenge or a defense. He was very submissive, quite frankly, which itself conjures up certain things in people's minds.
And JC should know that this doesn't make what we saw in the video any better. The fact that the young man admitted to stealing anything. Yes, it doesn't lessen the impact of what we saw in that video of that young man being abused. Clearly, that can't be the response.
But in fairness, Tyrone, I don't think the school was seeking to introduce that as a mitigating consideration in any way. It's just a part of the pertinent facts that they have been able to establish, and I too would have been privy to some of those disclosures as I interfaced with the stakeholders there today.
I'm not appreciating the tone and tenor of this, though. We give you the final word, Otis Brown. We're out of time. What do we need to do to reduce the incidence of bullying in schools? It seems we've lost Otis Brown there. All right.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Sir.
Go ahead,
and
Mr.
I
Brown.
just want to support the response given by Senator Morgan. But as it concerns what are we going to do or what do we do to prevent bullying, the Ministry of Education uses a holistic approach in addressing matters of this nature. So we look at both interventive and we look at preventive, In the case of what has transpired at the institution, we have to be interventive now in providing the necessary sort of support for the children who are involved. And I want to say, when we speak about children involved, we're going to focus heavily on the victim. But I want to say also, those who are responsible for doing the wrong, they too need to be provided with support in as much as the necessary action should be taken against them for the wrong thing or wrong things that they have done, as seen in the video.
A quick yes or no from both of you gentlemen. Should these students be expelled? Mr. Brown?
I want to say that I'm not in a position to say if a child is supposed to be expelled. A matter of this nature should be addressed by the Board of Management of the institution.
Well, all right.
And it is the findings of the Board of Management that will help them to determine the next steps in terms of the actions that they will take against a child or children.
We have to leave
who are
it there.
responsible
We have to
for
leave it
doing
there,
the wrong.
Mr. Brown. We're out of time. We've gone way over time. Thank you so much, Otis Brown, Director of Regional Education Services in the Ministry of Education. I just say this as we close, listeners and viewers. If the knee-jerk reaction is to protect the image of our institutions, the victims of bullying will continue to suffer. That's all we have time for. This has been the cover story. The headlines are next.
Cover story was brought to you by
Multilink. Roll with control. Use Multilink. Safe, fast, and accepted in more locations.
The time brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy is 5 minutes after 6.
Nationwide headlines at 6.
Good evening. With the headlines at 6, I'm Norige Banton. Charges could soon be laid on one of the boys seen in a viral video physically assaulting his schoolmate at Jamaica College in St. Andrew. That's according to Commanding Officer for St. Andrew Central, Acting SSP Mark Harris. In an update with our news center on Monday, Acting SSP Harris says the victim has been interviewed by the police, but he says none of the aggressors have been taken into custody. Meanwhile, the administration of Jamaica College says it's launched an investigation into the incident. In a media release on Monday, Principal of Jamaica College, Wayne Robinson, says the video was brought to his attention on Saturday, April 18. Robinson says the school began probing the case immediately. He notes that the matter is being treated as urgent and serious. Tensions were high in Steerfield, St. Anne on Monday after residents confronted a police team following an operation that left 2 men dead. A snippet of the confrontation has been making the rounds on social media. The incident reportedly occurred about 5:50 a.m. during an operation at a house in Stairfield. The police say a team of about 17 members from the Area 5 Fugitive Apprehension Team was conducting a targeted operation search of a suspect believed to be in possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized ammunition. Reports are that when the police entered the premises, they encountered two armed men who opened fire at them. The police say in fear for their lives, they returned fire. The alleged gunmen fell to the ground. A shotgun and a pistol were reportedly seized. The police say their efforts to get the injured men into their vehicle to take them to the hospital were thwarted by angry residents who blocked the road. The police say two alleged gunmen were eventually taken to the St. Anne's Bay Hospital. The men, identified as Ramon Henry and Davian Henry, later died. Jamaica's financial system remained resilient at the end of 2025 despite a late year setback caused by Hurricane Melissa. That's according to the Bank of Jamaica's annual report for the period. However, the central bank warned the country's financial system remains vulnerable to external shocks as experienced in recent months, such as geopolitical instability and weather-related phenomena. According to the Bank of Jamaica BOJ's annual report for 2025, its composite indicator of macro-financial conditions improved during the first 3 quarters of 2025. This was driven by strong credit growth, low inflation volatility, declining public debt, and improved performance in the domestic equity market. However, conditions weakened in the December quarter due to the impact of Hurricane Melissa. Still, the BOJ noted that the index stayed well below levels associated with financial crises. Stress test results highlighted the system's underlying strength. Deposit-taking institutions, DTIs, and securities dealers maintained capital adequacy ratios above the regulatory minimum of 10%, even under simulated shocks. Those were the headlines at 6. I'm Nora Gay Banton. Sports is next.
One, two, three, boom. Green light. You mean red light? Green light. Everything easy and instant when you click the chatbot icon on the CNWJ Credit Union webpage. Say what? Just become a member of CNWJ Credit Union. You can save, make deposits, and get loans. Speaking of loans, once you become a member, you can instantly apply for a loan right there online and have the cash in your hand within 24 hours. Where your chatbot? No, chatbot.
Conditions apply. CNWJ Credit Union. Discover the benefits of belonging.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10 or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
From the biggest tracks to the biggest energy, Nationwide keeps it moving. If you love the vibes, come and lock in with us for real.
World boss, leave a prison could stop me.
Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon.
Practice. God me say you watch you off me practice.
Good evening with your sports report. I am Alex Raby. We bowl things off with some cricket as Barbados Pride were replying strongly to the Jamaica Scorpions 457 all out at close on day 2 of their regional 4-day West Indies Championship game at Sabina Park. When rain ended play prematurely over 3 hours ago, the Pride were 125 for 1. Shane Mosley, the man out, bowled by Pete Salmon for 53, Captain Craig Brathwaite 51 and Jonathan Drakes 17 of the not out batsmen.
Earlier, the Scorpions added 99 to their overnight score to be all out for 457, with Javel Glenn going on to make 60 against Shamar Springer, who ended with 3 for 99, while Ruston Chase, John Lane, and Jamel Warrican claimed 2 apiece. At ARG, Guyana RP Eagles closed the second day on 361 for 8 in response to Windward Island's 151 all out. Kamal Savory made 72, Kimo Paul 56, and Matthew Nandu 54. While at North Sound, the Leeward Islands Hurricanes were 136 for 6, batting a second time with a lead of 92 against Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. Trinidad and Tobago Red Force were earlier dismissed for 175 in their response to Leeward Islands Hurricanes' first innings 131 all out. Jamaican West Indies cricket legend Chris Gayle is now a co-owner of a franchise in the inaugural European T20 Premier League. The 46-year-old Gayle has bought into the Glasgow Mugafian franchise based in Scotland. The self-styled Universe boss has partnered with Mugafi Group, an Indian-based entertainment business. An investment group led by former Indian captain Rahul Dravid and Rafi Chandra Ashwin had been originally expected to take ownership of the Glasgow franchise. However, reports are that they are set to pivot their interest to the team based out of Dublin instead. Gayle says the role of co-owner marks an exciting new chapter for him, adding that Europe represents cricket's final frontier and the ETPL has the potential to unravel promising local talent and nurture future heroes who will strengthen the sport in that region. Franchises in the new league have been sold for $15 million over a 10-year period. The tournament is set to be played from August 26 to September 20. Now to basketball, as the Queen's School were crowned champions of the ISA Urban Era Schoolgirls Basketball Competition after a commanding 49-33 victory over St. Andrew High at the UWI Bowl on Monday. And to footballers, coach of Jamaica's senior women's football team, Hubert Busby, says he's hoping the players improve upon or at very least maintain their current form when they go back to their clubs ahead of their crucial November CONCACAF World Cup qualifier. Jamaica advanced to the CONCACAF Championship round by topping Group B in their Caribbean playoffs with a 2-0 win over Guyana at the National Stadium on Saturday. The Reggae Girls are now into the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF qualifiers, which will be played in the next FIFA window for women's football between November 25 and December 2. Based on the current CONCACAF rankings, Jamaica will face Costa Rica, with the winner booking a place to the FIFA World Cup in Brazil next year. However, Jamaica's opponent will only be confirmed when CONCACAF announces whether they are using the April ranking or the next ranking in June. Currently, Jamaica are 4th rank and must play the 5th rank, which at the moment is Costa Rica. Busby is hoping his players remain switched on for the November showdown.
Yeah, look, I think we've done a good job in monitoring them and their progress and seeing how they're doing their clubs. And I think, the players who have been formed are the ones that are selected. And you can see once they come into camp, they're in a good frame of mind, but they're sharp and ready to go. So I think it's really important and incumbent upon them when they go back into their environments that they are playing, they're doing well and continuing to push the level. And I think really, we'll have a chance to take this week of reflections in terms of coaching staff and what we need to do to keep on improving as well so we can improve the group.
Hubert Busby. Jamaica can also qualify for the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles if they win their quarterfinal game in November and the United States also win theirs. Our champions Cavalier blanked Spanish Town Police 3-0 on Monday in their re-enabled Jamaica Premier League clash at Stadium East. Chad James gave Cavalier the lead on 23 minutes. Kimberly Scott made it 2-0 in the 63rd, while DeMarlo Williams completed the scoring in the 88th minute. The win keeps Cavalier in that crucial 6th and final playoff spot with 52 points. Now, Wolverhampton Wanderers have been relegated from the English Premier League after 8 seasons in the top flight. Wolves' demotion was confirmed on Monday after West Ham United and Crystal Palace played out a goalless draw in their London derby at Selhurst Park. A Crystal Palace win would have given Wolves a stay of execution for at least another week. Another team, Burnley, could also be relegated on Wednesday if they fail to beat title-chasing Manchester City at home. Meanwhile, Leicester City and the Reggae Boys Bobby D. Cordova-Reed and Dujan Richards could be relegated to League One from the championships in the next 24 hours. Leicester plays promotion chasing Hull City at home on Tuesday and must win to give themselves a chance of staying up, and even so could still be relegated if results elsewhere go against them. And sprint legend Usain Bolt has expressed strong optimism in Manchester United's resurgence, stating that the club is on course to return to its glory days under manager Michael Carrick. United are third on the English Premier League standings following a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Chelsea on Saturday, continuing an impressive run of form since Carrick took charge. The former midfielder has made an immediate impact, guiding the team to 8 wins and 2 draws, collecting 26 points in the process. Bolt, a lifelong Manchester United supporter, praised the current squad's unity and cohesion, emphasizing that the team's chemistry has been a key factor in their recent success. We move now to some volleyball, as GC Foster College and the JDF emerge as champions of the Jamaica Volleyball Association National Club Championships following an exciting day of finals action at the National Arena on Sunday. More in this report. In the women's final, JC Foster College produced a strong all-round performance to defeat Masters Volleyball Club 3-1. The match began as a tightly contested affair, with GC Foster edging the opening set 28-26. Masters responded in the second test, dominating 25-14 to level the match. However, GC Foster regained control, taking the third set 25-21 before closing out the contest convincingly 25-15. In the fourth to secure the title. Coach of GC Foster, Damar Williams, credits the team discipline for the victory.
I didn't expect less, to be honest, because we came here with a game plan, we stick to the game plan, and we execute it. So I am grateful. After the second set, discipline. Following the coach's objectives, discipline right through.
On the men's side, the Jamaica Defence Force team lifted the championship trophy after a hard-fought 3-1 victory over Venus A. JDF took the first 2 sets 25-23 and 25-15, putting themselves in a commanding position. Venus A rallied in the third set, winning 25-23 to keep the match alive, but JDF held their nerve in a tense fourth set, edging it 27-25 to clinch the crown. Earlier in the day, the third-place playoff also delivered decisive results. In the men's division, Paradise Sunset swept Mosa Club 3-0, winning 25-13, 25-19, and 25-17 to secure the bronze medal. Meanwhile, in the women's third-place match, Mosa rebounded strongly to defeat Vikings in straight sets. Mosa controlled the encounter from start to finish, winning 25-20, 25-12, and 25-19. I'm Alric Swiby, and that's your sports.
The Leadership Conference of Choice is back. Transform super managers into superior leaders at the Make Your Mark Middle Managers Leadership Conference, Jamaica Pegasus Hotel, and online, May 6 to 7. Sponsored by Caledonia Outdoor Advertising, Visual Tech Solutions, Intelligent Multimedia Limited, CIBC Caribbean Bank, and Visual Vibe. Register now for Middle Managers Conference, May 6 to 7 at makeyourmarkgroup.com.
Mega Mart, best value by far. You can get it all here at Mega Mart. Mega Mart, best value by far. You can get it all here at Mega Mart. My Mega Mart, the best value by far. My Mega Mart, the best value by far. access for me. It's just a win-win when we use multi-link. This card is Jamaican built, yeah. Fast and secure, you can use anywhere. Spend while supporting the economy.
Look for the Multilink logo on your card and benefit from Jamaica's largest debit payment network.
Multi-link, 24/7 access for me.
What would I do without my Multilink?
If you've ever called in, shared your story, or got help on this show, then you're already family. Now make it official. Join the nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon.
Every day, Jamaicans have something to say. In the group chats, on social media, in the streets, there's a place where it all comes together. The comment section. This is not a lecture. This is not a call-in show. This is the hottest topics of the day, filtered through real opinions, real WhatsApp messages, real voice notes, real reactions. You agree, disagree, sound off, text it, voice note it, debate it. Comments section, Monday to Friday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
Tune in to Cliff Views Online Wednesday, April 22 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce's second annual Anti-Illicit Trade Forum at the AC Marriott in Kingston under the theme Unmasking the Cost, the Financial Impact of Illicit Trade. The forum brings together key stakeholders to examine the economic losses, consumer risk, and threats to legitimate businesses caused by illicit goods. Stay tuned to the live coverage and find out how this growing issue is impacting Jamaica's economy and you. So tune in to Cliff Views Online Wednesday, April 22 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the second annual Anti-Illicit Trade Forum at the AC Marriott in Kingston. Catch this on our live stream at Nationwide 90 FM Live and keep your station locked to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business.
As we grow older, there are many challenges that we have to confront, but these years can represent the best in our lives. Coming of Age during Nationwide This Morning on Thursdays explores issues persons 50 and over confront. It also provides expert opinions on how we can improve the quality of our lives as we get older. That's Coming of Age, this and every Thursday during Nationwide This Morning at 6:51 a.m.
Do you have a consumer-related issue? Want to learn more about matters concerning you as a consumer? Well, keep it locked to Nationwide 90 FM for the Consumer Hour with me, Nora Gay Banton. Weekdays from 9 to 10 a.m. For all your consumer-centric matters, stay tuned to the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Good afternoon, good evening rather. Thank you so very much for staying with us. You're still live inside the Nationwide at 5. We're inside the segment we call the Nation's Business. And inside the Nation's Business, we want to turn our attention to the Prime Minister making an address in New York, of course. But before we do that, there is a video that has been making the rounds, that we reported on, that we want to touch on, that tensions were high in Stairfield, St. Anne, and on Monday after residents confronted a police team following an operation that left 2 men dead. A snippet of the confrontation has been making the rounds on social media. The incident reportedly occurred about 5:50 a.m. during an operation at a house in Stairfield, and where you're seeing the footage of it. Of course, we can't play the audio because expletives are contained in it. The police say a team of about 17 members from the Area 5 Fugitive Apprehension Team was conducting a targeted operation search of a suspect believed to be in possession of prohibited weapons and unauthorized ammunition. Reports are that when the police entered the premises, they encountered 2 armed men who opened fire at them. The police say in fear for their lives. They returned fire. The alleged gunmen fell to the ground. A shotgun and a pistol were reportedly seized. The police also say their efforts to get the injured men into their vehicle to take them to the hospital were thwarted by angry residents who blocked the road. The police say the two alleged gunmen were eventually taken to the St. Anne's Bay Hospital. The men, identified as Ramon Henry and Davian Henry, later died. A snippet of the confrontation, as I said earlier, has been circulating online. The 1 minute and 30-second video shows two police cars parked at what appears to be the bottom of a hill. It shows at least 8 residents shouting at 3 policemen. It's not clear what they were saying. One of the policemen pulled what appears to be a firearm from his waist and loudly told the group to back off. Another police started shouting, "Get back." The residents began retreating while still shouting at the trio. Let's listen to that clip. You know, the person recording the video from a distance mentioned the fatal shooting incident. He then panned the recording device to a house where he says the incident occurred. It also shows another police vehicle parked below the house. The incident is being probed by the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDICOM. And of course, we will continue to watch this one for you and follow up with INDICOM to see what's the latest on this. So we'll definitely keep our eyes on this one. All right, so inside what we had planned for you, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is calling on Caribbean universities to use their expertise to assist in spurring regional economic growth. The Prime Minister made the call while addressing the American Foundation for the University of the West Indies at its 29th annual gala in Manhattan, New York on Friday. He was giving his acceptance speech after receiving their Legacy Award.
So, in this leg of the journey, it is about realizing our true potential. It is about turning our ambitions into achievements and realizing our true potential. We were struck by the third most powerful hurricane in recorded history, having been struck by a Category 3 hurricane a year before. It left a trail of devastation across the island. It was a disaster. But it also created an opportunity to build what should have been, not just to rebuild what was, an opportunity to build forward better. And so we intend to grasp these opportunities with both hands and to work diligently, creatively, to build the Jamaica that we should have achieved, the Jamaica that should have materialized in generations past. Now, in order to do this, we need the University of the West Indies to be a critical partner in our development. And the University of the West Indies has played a critical role in our development. You have provided the economists and the engineers. You have provided the administrators and the lawyers, the technocrats, the scientists. But the Chancellor said it best. We are in changing times. not just that, rapidly changing times. We're in a time where disruption is the norm, where shocks are the norm, where we will be faced with crises after crises, with greater frequency and greater intensity. We are seeing a change in the world order as we knew it to be. An order that is less forgiving, that gives less countenance to size or disadvantage. An order that expects all of us to stand on our own 2 feet and truly exercise our independence and sovereignty. It will require a change in our mindset, a change in how we as Caribbean people see the world and our place in the world. The thinking that prevailed for the last half a century cannot carry us for the next half a century. A new thinking, a new mindset has to emerge in Caribbean outlook. We need a cultural revolution in how we as a people view our economies, productivity, and growth. The Vice Chancellor said it in his unique way. If I may quote you, Vice Chancellor, I may not do it accurately, but forgive me. I believe you said that the university needs the support of the government. When the government grows and gets more revenues, the government will give the university more support. And if the government doesn't grow and doesn't have the revenues, we understand, we will try and find our own way. But I believe there is another side to this model where our universities must take an instrumental position in supporting governments to grow. We need a pro-growth culture in our societies.
The voice here of Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness speaking at the American Foundation for the University of the West Indies at its 29th annual gala in Manhattan, New York on Friday. This was his acceptance speech after receiving their Legacy Award. We'll take the break right here and come back with more.
Drive the most exciting new vehicles in Jamaica. Schedule your 2024 Ford Ranger pickup or Ford Everest 7-seater SUV test drive now. Call or visit KIG today.
The time by KIG is
6:35.
Enough power tool, big to small. Jack on my figure, dig the wall. Up a total tools. Weed whacker figure, trim the lawn. We have everything a job demand. Total tools. We rent them, sell them, and fix them. Also give Total Tools a call. When you say home improvement, landscape construction, a Total Tools are your option. Home improvement, landscape construction, Total Tools are your option.
Total Tools, located at 102 Main Street, Ocho Rios, 34 Slive Road, Kingston.
And lot C6 Jacksaw, St. Anne's Bay. Call us today.
Ready to upgrade your drive? Hyundai and Scotiabank are making it easier for you. Right now, you can drive away in a brand new Hyundai with an interest rate as low as 4.99%. Low interest rate, zero processing fees, and 1 year free insurance with Scotia Protect. Whether it's the compact Hyundai Venue, the bold Palisade, the stylish Tucson, or the dynamic Creta, Hyundai has the perfect vehicle waiting for you. So visit our showrooms at 7 Oxford Road, Kingston, or Providence Drive, Montego Bay, and get behind the wheel of a brand new Hyundai. Hyundai Jamaica. Because of you, conditions apply.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us right here inside the nation's business. We're playing for you excerpts from the Prime Minister's acceptance speech after receiving the Legacy Award at the University of the West Indies, the American Foundation of the University of West Indies, is 29th annual gala in Manhattan, New York on Friday. Of course, the Prime Minister went on to say that we need to adapt to the changing times?
And that will come from taking more deliberate positions in developing new technologies, in taking positions on how we manage risks. We need a new culture on efficiency, particularly efficient bureaucracy. We need a new culture of innovation in our societies. And a critical partner in developing this cultural change, this cultural revolution, would be our university, the University of the West Indies, that has played such a critical role in securing our political independence, in guiding our political thought. Now our university must play a critical role in securing our economic independence and our economic thought, and guide us as a people to navigate these very different and difficult times. So I decided to accept the award to be able to have the opportunity to deliver this message from this platform. And you will hear from my speech that I still have a lot of work to do. And I intend to make myself available to the people of Jamaica and the Caribbean to continue in service for our great people.
In the meantime, the Prime Minister noted that his award was won for the work that is currently in progress, he says.
Now, let me say it is always to be carefully considered when awards are offered to serving politicians, because they may send the wrong signals. They may send the signal of mission accomplished, or now the end is near. Let me hasten to dispel any such view. That I accept the award not as the completion of a mission, as we view legacy. I accept the award as recognition of hard work in progress, for which there are tangible results for people to see and identify. So if there are those who are of the view that this is an award to close out an era, no. And I say this because of the description of the honor, its legacy. Now, legacy is not what you receive. Legacy is what you build. And we still have a lot of building to do in Jamaica and in the Caribbean in general. I've dedicated more than half of my life in service of the people of Jamaica and indeed the Caribbean. And I am very humbled to have had this opportunity to be elected time and time again. So I stand here with the support of many Jamaicans, and I stand there on the shoulders of many Jamaicans who have gone before in service and sacrifice. The journey of Jamaica has been a confounding journey. We are a country that offers such great potential. We are a country that has achieved so much, has contributed so much to the world. But any truthful analysis of Jamaica would conclude that we could have done so much more.
The voice there of the country's Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness. Yeah, he was addressing the American Foundation for the University of the West Indies at its 29th annual gala in Manhattan, New York on Friday. All right, that's where we're going to wrap up this segment, The Nation's Business. We take the break right here. When we come back, we take you around the world.
Hey yo, listen up. Don't wait for the symptoms start show. HIV test free. Make sure you know. Me take my test. Me get the news. Me take my meds. Me can't lose. Family there, support there too. We strong, we more life, I live right through. Live more test early. Test for HIV. Know your status smooth surely. After we go. Me take my test. Me get the news. Me take my meds. Can't lose. Live more test free testing is available at health centers island-wide. A message by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-371-4-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. This station raised me. It gave me a voice. And if Nationwide has ever meant something to you, come on in. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon.
Welcome back. Thank you so very much for sticking and staying with us right here inside Nationwide at 5. We're taking you around the world now, and we're not going too far. We're staying in the region. Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says there is no need for a curfew following the killing of a policewoman and the theft of dozens of firearms from a police facility on Sunday. Now, in a statement, Persad-Bissessar said she had been advised that the incident at San Fernando City Corporation Municipal Police Station was not an external attack on the police or any other national security agency. Instead, she described the incident as an, quote, internal betrayal, end quote, within the Municipal Police Service. Now, the body of Acting Corporal Anushka Eversley was discovered at the Municipal Police Headquarters around 4:40 a.m. on Sunday. 62 firearms and some 4,000 rounds of ammunition were stolen from the station's armory. Prime Minister Persad-Bissessar said the Ministry of Homeland Security will provide full support to the municipal police as authorities investigate the matter, recover the stolen weapons, and bring the situation to a closure. Now, in the meantime, 6 people are now in custody in relation to the incident. We're now being joined by senior multimedia journalist at One Caribbean Media in Trinidad. That's Alexander Bruzual. Yes, now we're hoping to Alexander to join us in a few ticks, but quite a scary situation that unfolded in Trinidad and Tobago, as you heard there in that lead-in that brief we read to set up this segment, that a policewoman was killed. Yes, she was Corporal Anushka Eversley, and her body was discovered on Sunday morning. I think we have Alexander with us. Top of the evening to you, Alexander. Welcome to Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon. Good night.
Indeed. We appreciate you joining us here on Nationwide, Alexander. Now, talk to us about what's happening here. What's the reaction like in Trinidad and Tobago to what's unfolding? Of course, Prime Minister Kamala Prasad-Bisesad's reaction to it. Are people asking for a sterner response to this incident?
They are asking for not a social media response. She has not addressed this in person as yet. So she sent releases via social media, Facebook, Twitter, etc. But it has not been addressed in her own words that persons would have heard as yet.
Whoa, okay. And what's the latest in terms of the situation overall, the investigations? Have they advanced it beyond what we just read? That 6 people are in custody. Have any charges been laid? What's the latest?
No charges have been laid, and they will most likely not be laid till next week, if at all. The police commissioner had a press conference this afternoon in which he addressed it. He noted that 38 firearms had been recovered, if memory serves me, and 929 rounds of ammunition had been recovered as well. So not the full contingent of the missing items, but there's been some progress that way.
So there has been progress because some of the weapons and some of the munitions have been recovered, but not all of them. And I gather that would remain a cause for concern for anyone in Trinidad and Tobago at this hour.
Yes, there's already the concern in Trinidad of illegal firearms on the street. So now that we know for a fact that there is an abundance of firearms, registered firearms on the street, that would only lead to concern, because we had, even last night, we unfortunately had 4 homicides, and one of the victims was a child, unfortunately, a young girl.
Sorry to hear that. The Prime Minister, Kamala Prasad-Bisesad, described the incident as an internal betrayal. Is that the only lead police are following up on? Were there, how many more people do they think were involved? What's the latest on that in terms of all the people that they're theorizing is involved? I gather 1 police personnel might be among the 6 that are in custody. Are other police officials thought to be involved?
Other police officials are being questioned, is what I will say. The commissioner announced today that they will be questioning everybody attached to that municipal station, just to get a gathering of the situation. The 3 persons who were held yesterday were released. The commissioner confirmed today, and the cameras. I apologize. The security systems at the station have recorded at least 3 persons, including the deceased. So at least 2 other officers were present at the station at the time, and they're trying to confirm as of this afternoon if a 4th individual was at the station at the time.
So I mean, Alexander, there must be many questions swirling around, because a police corporal was killed at a police station. Where were her colleagues is perhaps the obvious question when she was being murdered.
The 2 confirmed males that were at the station, throughout the Caribbean is a traditional dormitory that most police stations have. So they were in the male dormitories. Their statements thus far indicate that they were sleeping at the time. Contrary to the initial information that was released, even by the police service, that Miss Eversley was killed by a gunshot. She was strangled to death, and she suffered beating and stab injuries as well. So the commotion may not have been loud like a gunshot bang to wake up anybody. at the time, and the charge station is located downstairs, and the dormitories are upstairs. So there is a.
Sorry, go ahead. Complete the thought. There is a.
I was looking for the most neutral way to say there's space or time for a situation to happen that they may not have known if their statements are accurate.
Mm.
There's a better way of phrasing that, but
and the San Fernando City Corporation Municipal Police Station was it opened for throughout the night, or was it closed at the time? What kind of police station is it?
It is a station attached to the borough. It generally doesn't tend to do with walk-ins like how typical police stations will do, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was closed, and it doesn't necessarily mean it was persons are prevented from entering. So it would have been, parts of it at least, the front desk would have been open, but the area where she was found, which is next to the charge room, would have been secured.
And so 62 firearms and some 4,000 rounds of ammunition were stolen from the station's armory. So they are storing guns and munitions there. And what was the level of security around that? Because it does appear you're saying the policewoman who was killed, she was killed while sleeping. They attacked her in her dormitory. That's where her body was found. Is what I'm hearing from you.
No, she was not in the dormitory. The two other officers who were present at the time were in the dormitory.
And she was?
Which were upstairs. She was in the charge station. She was found, I should say, in the charge station room, which is downstairs.
So and this is where the guns were being stored?
Yeah, next to the charge station room is the vault. So yeah.
And so she was the only person between these individuals and the weapons?
Yes, but those areas are secured at those hours. So it leads to theories within national security of persons being aided and abetted, and whether there was internal assistance in the incident. And that's why officers are being questioned right now. It's not confirmed, but it leads to that series of questions.
And among those questions, is anyone asking, is that sufficient protection or security for an entity, one officer, yes, for a station that is housing at least 62 firearms and at least 4,000 rounds of ammunition? Just one person a week on duty to provide that kind of security? Are there questions surrounding whether or not that arrangement should be revisited?
There's no question. The commissioners announced today that the arrangement will be reformed. So they're making direct policy changes to ensure that this never happens again. This is the first time such an incident has ever happened in this country. So,
sorry, say that again. It's the first time?
This is the first time a situation like this has happened in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So the commissioner announced today that there are policy reforms and they're going to revisit all the security arrangements and treat them with it. So they've never had this problem before. And I guess one would presume that they did not consider this to be a real problem that might have occurred.
Right. So which is what I was going to put to you again, Alexander, that it does appear that the arrangement that was in place was perhaps okay up until this happened.
Yes.
Well, all right. And anything else you'd like to share with us? We're almost out of time, Alexander, on this one. Where do things go from here? This is a real cause for concern that people would act in such a criminal manner, kill a policewoman, and then steal so many weapons and munitions. Where does the Twin Island Republic go from here?
Hopefully only up, because it's a dark day in terms of national security. this weekend. Not only this, and we had some other incidents that were very unfortunate to have occurred. Despite being in a state of emergency, it appears that criminals are very much emboldened. So we are hoping that things will only go up from here.
And what has the opposition said in response to Kamala Prasad Bisesa's position that there's no need for a curfew?
Well, they don't want the state of emergency in the first place. So they have condemned the entire thing, showing that certain things are still happening despite these emergency regulations being put in place. So they want better actual crime fighting tools, because the state of emergency being put in a place as it is a whole different conversation on its pros and cons. But the short story is that it is being used as a crime fighting tool, which is not supposed to be. But that being said, it is showing great success. Like, we've had a 42% reduction in murders and a 38% reduction in violent crimes. So crime is trending downwards for the last year, but it's still at the cost of civil liberties. So,
well, we do hope for the best and that the authorities will get to the bottom of this one. Alexander, thank you so much for making the time to be with us right here on Nationwide at 5. We appreciate it.
That's no problem. Thanks very much for having me.
Indeed. The voice here of Alexander Brazual. He is a senior multimedia journalist at One Caribbean Media in Trinidad and Tobago. That's where we have to leave it for Around the World. And of course, that's also where we bring the curtains down on today's Monday evening edition of Nationwide at 5. I want to thank our producer, Dana Davey. Thanks to our technical operator, Andrew Glenn Anderson. Don't just a set, folks. That's his full government name, Andrew and Glenn together. Thanks to all the hardworking members of the news and production team led by our editor, Cara Powell. On behalf of all of us, I'm Tyrone Reed, reminding you, saying to you, good evening.
Tune in to Cliff Views Online Wednesday, April 22.